And we are live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Apologize for not getting a video out yesterday, but got a little crazy in here. So today we're going to talk about the discovery of cellular mechanisms that can open the door to more effective anti-aging therapies. Well, if you go back in the Old Testament, we understood that, and a lot of times when we've read those passages in Exodus, etc., and we saw lifespans that were up in the 800, 900 years, and we said, obviously, that was just some old wives' tale. It can't be, or an over exaggeration that was put in print. Could it have been? New information is now coming out that says we can now identify the pathways in our body that oversee our lifespan. Now, you and I will both say that however long we're going to be on this earth is all predicated by our relationship with God. And God knows that our days are numbered here on this earth. But the discovery of the cellular mechanism is pretty cool because if you're here for 80 years, 70 years, 90 years, whatever, would you not want to be as healthy as you possibly can? As healthy as you possibly can. So when you read this, and this is another one of those articles, it's boring, it's drawn out, but at the end it hits a home run. So you got to bear with me as I go through this. Coming out of Mount Desert Island Biological Laboratory. Don't ask me. I'm just reporting this. Let's see where it was published. It was published in the Journal of Cell Reports. Just came out. Translational regulation of non-autonomous mitochondrial stress response. Now you're really confused. We'll get ready on this, and we'll see what this has to say to all of us. Scientists at the MDI Biological Laboratory, in collaboration with scientists from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging in California, have identified synergistic cellular pathways. These are cellular pathways that when you have one, it does okay. You have two, it does okay. Put them both together, they get a doubling or tripling effect. Just like that old analogy of a strand of rope. As you start to build it, one strand, pull it apart, breaks. Put two together, it's a little stronger. Put five together, it's a lot stronger. Put a whole lot together, and you've got a bull rope that can pull an airplane. So this synergistic cellular pathway for longevity that could amplify lifespan 500%. 500%, that's fivefold. That said, in theory, if I'm going to be around to age 70, if all this was true and they really came up with, and I'm sure these pundits in the lab were trying to find it, a way to make me live 5 times that long, to be 350. Do I really want to be here 350 years? You might. So they did this research on what's called C. elegans, or a nematode worm, which they're using again as the model in aging research. Now, it's really intriguing that our human body and a lot of the pathways from gut health to neurological pathways are similar to that worm. The increase in lifespan would be the equivalent of a human being living 400 to 500 years, according to one of the scientists. And I'm sure he got all excited. The research draws on the discovery of 2 major pathways governing aging in this worm, which is a popular model in aging research because it shares many of the genes with humans because its short lifespan of only 3 to 4 weeks. These little buggers only live 3 to 4 weeks. They allow scientists to quickly assess the effects of genetic and environmental interventions to extend healthy lifespan. So you can get involved with these worms and do something to them. If they know they're only going to be there 3 or 4 weeks, and you manage to get them out to 5 weeks, figure it out. Because these pathways are conserved, meaning they have been passed down to humans continually, they have been the subject of intensive research. A number of drugs that extend healthy lifespan by altering these pathways are now under development. I told you. The drug companies are trying to popularize themselves and get themselves into a niche on anti-aging. The discovery of the synergistic effect opens the door to even more effective anti-aging therapies. Do I have your attention at all? The new research uses a double mutant in which, and here's one of the first key words, underline this, keep this in mind, is the role of insulin. That life-sustaining entity that comes out of your pancreas that allows you to process sugars. So the new research uses a double mutant in which the insulin signaling have been genetically altered. Because of the alteration in this pathway yields a 100% increase in lifespan. An alteration, the double mutant would be expected to live 130% longer. So we know that when you enhance that insulin signaling in that worm, they get an extra 100% in their lifespan. Then there's this other pathway called TOR. You alter that, you get another 30%. So that gets you 130%. But when they thought that they could add the 100 plus the 30, they said it was much more than that, much more than the sum of the two. One gives you 100, the other gives 30. You think you add them up, you get 130. Actually, you got 500. Despite the discovery in this worm of cellular pathways that govern aging, it hasn't been clear how these pathways interact, said Herman Haler, MD, president of this laboratory. By helping to characterize these interactions, our scientists are paving the way for much-needed therapies to increase healthy lifespan for a rapidly aging population. The elucidation of the cellular mechanisms controlling the synergistic response is the subject of a recent paper in the journal Cell Reports called Translational Regulation of Non-Autonomous Mitochondrial Strata. The authors are Jared Rawlings, PhD, and Eric Rogers, PhD. The synergistic extension is really wild, said Rawlings, who's the lead author. The effect isn't 1 plus 1 equals 2. It's 1 plus 1 equals 5. Our findings demonstrate that nothing in nature exists in a vacuum. In order to develop the most effective anti-aging treatments, we have to look at longevity networks rather than individual pathways. The discovery of the synergistic interaction could lead to the use of combination therapies, each offering a different pathway to extend healthy human lifespan the same way the combination therapies are used to treat cancer or HIV. The synergistic interaction may also explain why scientists have been unable to identify a single gene responsible for the ability of people to live extraordinarily old ages, free of major age-related diseases until shortly before their deaths. Why do some people live to be over 100? Here's the answer. You ready? The paper focuses on how longevity is regulated in the mitochondria. That is the powerhouse inside of every cell in our body. They say the organelles in the cell responsible for energy homeostasis. Over the last decade, accumulating evidence has suggested a causal link between mitochondrial dysregulation and aging. Rawlings' future research will focus on further elucidation of the role of the mitochondria in aging. So, with that being said, is there some supplemental thing that can be done now? Now, I'm gonna throw out a few things. Coenzyme Q10. You taking that? You know, it's one of those ones that's depleted by statin drugs, and it's become popular on some of the commercials now on TV. So, adding a low regular dose, 100, 200 milligrams of coenzyme Q10, popular. D-ribose. Adding a level of D-ribose to the body each and every day. Again, feeding the mitochondrial production of adenosine triphosphate, ATP. And I also throw in there crealkaline creatine. Again, mobilizing glucose into muscle to get it into the mitochondria, the energy furnaces in each and every cell, and allowing the body to utilize it, to burn it, and to move on from there. You know, you may say this really sounds confusing, and you know, I decided to listen to your video, but I'm really confused. Well, if you are confused, but something you just heard is a little bit intriguing, because you just can't do some blood work and determine how far along you are or what your genetic makeup is. So give me a call, set up a time, we can chat about this. 678-228-8900, 678-228-8900. Our website is the Nutrition Shop, SHOPPE.net. On our next show coming up tomorrow, we're going to talk about Prilosec OTC, Nexium, Protonix, all that class of drugs. The PPIs may have negative side effects for breast cancer survivors. Bet you haven't heard that one before. So we'll delve into that tomorrow. This is called Your Daily Dose. My name is Len Branswitz. I'm the host, board certified in clinical nutrition, naturopathic medical doctorate, and pharmacist, and homeopath as well. So if you have any questions or comments, please give us a call. 678-228-8900. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.